Hello and welcome to another Indie Sunday. Today we're going to be playing the demo to Coffee Noir, business detective game. The music's very good, I can tell you that much. I don't really know much more about it, but let's just get started. Apparently we have to create a new profile. Might as well do that. The demo version does not represent the full experience of the game. Some errors may occur. You can report bugs and difficulties. I can report difficulties. It's too difficult. I think we'll go with medium, yeah, whatever. Start again with 50,000 Great British Pounds and the maximum bet is limited for 65%. Okay. Alright, stop me. At the beginning of the 20th century, for unexplained reason, world's coffee consumption increased 20 times. This phenomenon called coffee mania reached its peak in the 1940s and caused a huge turmoil in the global
The world
something.
of 2021 is ruled by coffee, and Neo-London goes crazy for it.
Nice fake Coca-Cola logo.
They say that in this job only two cases matter, the one that breaks you and the one that makes you a real cop. I'm Arthur Oliver, and I'm a private investigator, but I used to be a cop here in Neo-London.
And why do we call it Neo-London? Because it sounds cool.
I quit 10 years ago. I failed. I hoped I'd never come back here. I read about Richard Kersey's disappearance in the papers on a train journey. Coffee tycoon vanishes, the front page headline of the Neo-London Espresso screamed. For many, Kersey was a wealthy celebrity buffoon, pure envy. They lost contracts and profits to him. They even lost their reputations as he dragged competitors through the courts.
This doesn't really explain that, though, does it?
Me? I
Oh.
lost a lot more to him. Catherine, my beloved, and his wife.
Okay.
10 years ago, Richard was involved in a spot of bother. He had a debt. Unfortunately for him, it was Kath who received the demands for payment. Kersey happened to be abroad at the time, totally out of reach. She got scared and tried sorting it out herself, in cash. She asked me for help. I couldn't do it in my official capacity, but I took my gun and set up a sting. It ended tragically.
So essentially it's all your fault.
A few days ago, Henry called, Richard's older brother. He sounded down, just like me.
Okay, I know all about it, Arthur. You quit the force, you're still tormented by Kath's murder. Listen, Richard's daughter doesn't have to know anything about you two, nor Richard. But I'm begging you, help me find him. I'll give you a flat to live in, some cash, and a cover story that you're a salesman. Just come, please.
So I'm in Neo-London again. The business with Catherine broke me. So maybe the case with Richard will be the one to make me a real cop again. Richard's disappearance was big news. There was speculation about mafia involvement, either Italian or Yakuza. I think there might be something in that. Little Clarabelle, Richard and Kath's daughter. The last time I saw her was at her mother's funeral. I wanted to comfort her. Now it looks like it's her who wants to comfort me.
Is that her? Because she looks older than her mother.
She's so like her mother, especially her eyes. Can't forget watching the life draining out of Catherine's eyes. On the way to the hotel, Clarabelle told me her father might have been kidnapped by an angry competitor. It's a possibility. Kersey did all sorts of weird deals with even weirder people. Maybe one of them had enough of Richard's caprices. Over the phone, Clarabelle confirmed what Henry had promised. There was a flat and a position as a salesperson in their family business. That was to make investigating easier. Fair enough. Let it be. If that's what the investigation demands, I'll become the best damn salesperson in Neo-London.
Pretty sure that's not what the investigation demands, but go for it.
I'll help Clarabelle with her business. I'll find Richard. I'll find your killer, Kath. I won't let you down twice. Promise.
Coffee industry has become the most dynamically developing branch of the economy in the 20th century. It's unknown why the beverage's consumption rose so rapidly. In New London itself, there are hundreds of coffee roasting plants, coffee providers, and companies that specialize in developing new products made from manufactured coffee. Welcome to Coffee Noir business detective game. This demo presents a short slice of the game's first chapter, showing the main features, style, and basic game mechanics. Arthur's investigation barely started at this point in the story. This is a turn-based business management and conversational game inspired by old-school tycoons. Some of the sections are locked or have limited features. Follow the steps of the tutorial or skip it if you want to figure it out all by yourself. We hope you will enjoy this demo and try the full release. Doji T. The basics. Welcome to your office. This place is the command center of your company and the investigation you are conducting. From the office view, you can jump to all game sections and you have a preview of the main results such as cash, costs, and revenue. Here you will find the main financial results this week. When you hover over a given result, you'll see its explanation. This information gives you an overview of your business situation. In this menu, you have access to the main section of the company. The last, report, and tutorial. You can always minimize this menu. You can also go to the main sections of the company by clicking on the elements of the office if it's more convenient for you. You can check the list of required tasks on this board. During the gameplay, new tasks may appear on this board. Click to view the list. Your first task is to start production of new coffee brand and meet Joseph to sign a business contract. Click here to open the sales section. In this section, you will find information about available customers in your company's offer. They are also suspects in your investigation. Because of course they are. Everyone's a suspect. In each chapter of the story, you will find other customers here. Your goal is to meet with every customer and sign a coffee supply contract. Thanks to this, you will not only get funds to support your business, but you'll also get clues in your investigation. Also, of course, her daughter is a suspect. Joseph Van Haven is a new customer interested in our offer. To meet him, you must make some preparations. Each customer reports a demand for a specific brand of coffee with a certain level of quality. To be able to attend a meeting, you must start producing coffee that the customer wants to buy. To meet with a client, additional conditions must be met as listed below. Click here to open the production section. This section sets the volume of coffee production for a given week. The console allows you to accurately determine the number of packages ready for sale. It also allows you to control costs for each quantity, starting modernizations and display the quantity of goods in the warehouse. The important thing is to make sure that the quantity of product in the warehouse or its ongoing production is enough to cover current sales. A new client is interested in espresso standard coffee. Click here to start production of this brand. Espresso Standard. Espresso Standard coffee has been created on the basis of Arabica and Robusta, therefore has a distinctive characteristic taste and rich aroma. Everything thanks to traditional roasting methods, dedicated to those who appreciate a balanced aroma, flavor, and strength of coffee. Set your production volume to 16 units to have a product that your customer will buy in the coming week. Assign an employee to the task in the management section. The total cost value will be deducted from your cash amount at the end of the current week. Pay attention to the average cost. By producing more, it is lower in the long run and it pays off to produce more and sell your stocks. Current production volume will go to the warehouse in the coming week if your employees take care of everything. In this section, you manage the work of your employees by assigning them tasks and the time they are to spend on them. The main thing is not to neglect tasks that are particularly important for our company and not to overwork employees too much. A little bit's fine. On the left side, there is a column with portraits of employees. If you don't have any employees, you can hire them in the HR department. Assignment to task is done by dragging the portrait onto the task card. You can modify the number of hours an employee has to spend on a task in a given week. Some tasks require a certain number of working hours to complete them. Try to keep your employees busy. Assign workers to all unfulfilled tasks to meet the minimum requirements on each card. Continue to Okay. Okay, I can do this. Weekly result 13 hours, plus 2 hours failure risk very low. Safe target is 15. Oops. Okay. But I can also assign her more hours. For a lower failure risk. Okay. She's working 35 hours this week, that's fine. Find out information. Brand. Just go and find out information. Yep. And sure, you can also set up a business meeting. That gives you a 40-hour week. Clarabelle, you're not working enough yet. 35 hours. Alright. After completing all actions and setting activities in each section of the company for a given week, click the hourglass to go to the next week. Do you want to finish week 1? In demo version, you can't progress any further than week 6. Yes, go to the next week.
Another report. Hope there's some good news.
Your so far total revenue value amounted to 7,520 Great British Pounds. Okay, the warehouse is almost full. And valuable information found in a search for information about Joseph Van Haven. This information can be used during conversations to gain advantage in negotiation or the client's favor. Yep. All the required conditions are met. You can go to the meeting, click the button above when you're ready. I am ready. Joseph Van Haven, Foxy Hills, Cunning Town. He was born and raised in Boston, then he moved to United Kingdom. After college, he started work as a purchase and supply specialist in Foxy Hall's company. Joseph has a friendly personality. Conversations with him are usually full of stories and digressions, even this one from private life. He hates corporate jargon and too professional, pompous approach, which makes him really upset. Okay, he recently became the father of a lovely little daughter. Subjective. He studied at the London School of Economics. Less subjective. Much of the in-game conversations are business meetings where you offer your company's products and negotiate the price of deliveries. An interview with Joseph Van Haven will help you better understand your tasks and summarize the collected information. Okay. Oops. No, continue. Sorry. Yeah, let's do the above. Introduce yourself and explain where you got the contract information from.
Good morning, Mr. Van Haven. Arthur Oliver. I'd like to talk to you about our coffees. Clarabelle Kersey recommended I speak to you. She said she knows you well.
Ah, yes. Welcome. Naturally, I was expecting you after Clary phoned. Sweet girl, isn't she?
Lovely. Actually, really lovely, considering what she's been through at such a young age. The stuff about her parents. It's true, isn't it?
Sadly, yes. A terrible, brutal thing for such a child. You see, her parents were friends of mine. After Catherine died and Richard usually been absent, my wife and I did all we can to provide a normal upbringing for her. You've seen yourself how, despite all this, Miss Kersey is doing very well.
Oh, yes, and she's a tough negotiator.
I taught her well. She could always get you to read for 1 more hour, go for 1 more walk, or give her a bigger portion. It comes in very useful as an adult, but you don't have all day to listen about the young Kersey girl. Let's take a look at what you brought with you. I can't wait to see.
Show interest in the photo in the display cabinet. Which display cabinet? I don't see a display cabinet.
Nice photo. From your student days?
Yes. Being young is wonderful when the world is your oyster.
You speak as if it's over.
What? You mean I don't look like it? You are a card, Mr. Oliver. Well, I do try to move a bit so as to not become totally desk-bound.
It shows. And the man next to you, isn't that Richard Kersey?
The very same. He was my best friend at university and since. And these are our charming wives. Actually, our fiancés then. Catherine Seeger and Amanda Okote.
You look a close bunch.
We were, then, but life writes strange scenarios. The best of friends can fall out over the silliest things, and other people are worth forgetting.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I keep the picture to remember the good times. Let's return to the here and now. Mr. Oliver, things are looking up.
Why don't we just go and congratulate him on the birth of his daughter?
Congratulations on the birth of your daughter. I hope both the mother and baby are doing well.
Thank you. Both in good health, and so similar. I tell you, they look like sisters. It's amazing how a person passes on their genes and then watches as they live their own life.
It seems you're enjoying your new role.
Not at first, but it's getting better and better. Despite my super condition, I'm not as young as I was, and the little one demands so much attention, just like our business. Let's get down to it, shall we?
It's gotta ask about your work in Fort Foxy Hills.
Foxy Hills must keep you pretty busy.
Perhaps, but I like my work. You know, contact with people, things are always changing. It's true my wife moans a bit that I could help with the little one more, but those nappies, I don't know, it's not for me. I handle a cigar far better.
Ask about studying at the London School of Economics.
I heard you graduated from the London School of Economics.
Good times. Young, confident, sure of yourself. It was tough at times, but what do you expect from the best academy in the country? We shared a room in the dorms with Richard. Soon after, I met Amanda, my wife. Richard's future wife introduced us. Then everything started falling into place. Obviously, only up till the Kersey's tragedy, which hit me and my wife hard. That's the past, though. There's nothing there for us now. Let's move on.
Okay, will do. Loosely present the product. I think that's a more appropriate way of doing it right here.
We're new on the market, but we have a lot of experience in the field. We have a unique variety of coffee, trusted suppliers, and top quality equipment. We offer excellent quality at a good price. Miss Clarabelle has already dealt with us, and she's sure not to sell you a pup.
That's great. Quality is my top priority, and that's what I taught Clarabelle, so it's a recommendation of sorts. And if we're talking about quality, my wife bought me a cigar not long ago. Came in a carved wooden box, well-known brand, and the aroma, aromatic tobacco like from the top drawer.
Like it got chucked in there by accident?
Precisely. It was filthy. After smoking it, I felt so nauseous, I spat it into the bin. I opened all the office windows and even had to use air freshener, so it's best if we both assess the quality. It's hard to find these days.
Keep listening.
I used to be interested in the effect of different cultures on negotiations. In Japan, there is a need for distance. Don't even dare to look someone in the eye. It's even harder with the Swedes. They're so serious. Oh, this is a good one. Do you know the difference between an introvert Finn and an extrovert one?
There are no extra
I
Finns.
really have no idea.
The first, throughout the whole conversation, looks at his shoes. The second looks at yours. It's a good one, isn't it?
Comment on Joseph's joke and return to the sales pitch.
Well, you can learn so much from visiting a client. But anyway, to get back to the aim of my visit, can we discuss the deal?
But of course, I was rambling, but you have to admit, it's a fascinating aspect of business.
I guess so. Show him the contract form. Delivery contract, product unit price, sales margin, normal. Pay attention to how costs and the generated profit change at different price settings. You can freely set the price by moving the slider. If you set the price too high, the customer will reject it. After setting the price, click Make Offer. 1100? No. That's a cheap deal. I think He's a nice guy. Let's start with 730 British pounds, a 50% sales margin. That's not bad.
Your proposal exceeds my current capabilities. I suggest we cut the delivery charges or just lower the product cost to compensate them. The price on the contract will then be lower by this percentage. That's a sensible concession, and I really can't offer any more than that.
After the initial offer price negotiations begin, the client responds with a counteroffer asking for a specific price reduction. The current discount mentioned during the negotiation is always displayed here. Try to choose phrases and negotiation techniques so that the price reduction is as low as possible and therefore the price per unit is as high as possible. Sure, let's mention Joseph's youth.
That's too high a price for such a new company like mine, Mr. Van Haven. The market is saturated, and that's why we want to compete on quality, not price. When you were starting out, would you have agreed to these terms?
Unfortunately, yes, I would. My first contract was a disaster, but I thought that was the way it was. It's difficult at the beginning, but don't lose heart. Solid arguments can soften the heart of even the hardest businessmen. Do you have any?
Yes. Complain awkwardly about the cut in the supply price. Continue using the technique of role reversal.
Well, definitely our quality, which we have to persuade our suppliers about. They're very distrustful. Lots of them don't even want to meet like this. That's why I'm so grateful to you for being open to try new things. I'd like to earn your trust, but not at the cost of such a price reduction.
I understand you. When I started out, someone believed in me and trusted me too. Maybe that will happen here too if you can offer me a better deal. Let's start with cutting the delivery charges. They're the easiest thing to resign from to cost the value of the contract by this much.
But why can I not just say yes, I'm fine with this? Ask if Joseph has any doubts or needs to consult it with anyone. Emphasize that he isn't the one that should have any.
We both know your offer is too expensive. I'd have to discuss it with my boss, whereas I'm pretty sure you don't need to ask anyone else about such a small detail, right?
And that's where you're wrong, Mr. Oliver. I have a boss too, and I can tell you, he wasn't at all convinced about our meeting. Maybe he was right? I'll take a risk. Would a cut in delivery charges to reduce the price by this percentage be acceptable to you?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, Mr. Van Haven. I can agree to those terms.
Great! You worked me hard, but I think the prospects for collaboration look interesting. Let's sum up what we've established and sign the forms.
Sure. Sales margin of 47% is fine. Yep. When the customer agrees to the arrangement, she signs the contract. You can still review the terms and finally decide if you want to sign it or try again to negotiate better terms. That's fine. New contract has been signed. The amount of 10,976 Great British Pounds will be regularly transferred to your account within the next 5 weeks. Take care to handle this contract by assigning employees to the appropriate task in the management section. You can view the contract terms in the sales section.
I should sum up what happened after that meeting.
A new part of the story has been discovered. Click on the comic icon to seek the fragment of the story and get clues for the investigation board. Viewing the comic is required to proceed to the next turn. Alright, if you say so. Apparently I can't yet. I need to open the sales section first. Pay attention to the condition of the coffee in stock. Always make sure you have a stock of coffee for the next delivery or keep producing just in time. By delivering a full order, you will immediately receive this amount in your account. It's your revenue. The real profit for this batch is made after deducting the previously incurred production costs. If you have enough product in stock, you shall send the order to all customers. Click here to open the production section. Pay attention to whether you have enough coffee for the next delivery. Batch set to be produced will go to the warehouse next week. You need to set up production in advance to have stock. Yep. And there's the management section. The contract management task has appeared. Provide oversight of delivery to ensure that the agreed batch is delivered without problems. Yeah. Manage contacts. And how about you have a nice 33-hour work week? That should be fine. You can have a 33-hour work week too. And Bernadette, 40 hours for you. Let's watch Old Friends.
Van Haven's a good businessman. He welcomed me like an old friend and led me past the pictures. Clients were supposed to see signs of Joseph's education and worth. But me? I spotted a young, cocky Richard with my Catherine. She had no idea what she had coming.
Let me just reiterate. You are talking about the deceased wife of another person here. It feels a bit odd to call her your Catherine.
The other woman was Amanda Van Haven. It must have been through their being two young married couples at the same time that Richard and Joseph became such close buddies. Joseph watched as I examined the photos. He smiled, apparently at the memories. He'd played this scene out hundreds of times. He told the story of what a close bunch they were, until the girls fell out over a trifle. What trifle? It's not even worth mentioning, nor anyone else, he added. Was he talking about the third woman in the picture?
I always forget I need to click to continue.
It puzzled me. Catherine never mentioned a conflict with Joseph's wife, Amanda Van Haven. And I never asked. I was, too busy falling in love with Kat.
Yep.
What trifle broke their long-term friendship? I wanted to ask after the negotiations. The telephone interrupted us. The call was from George McFowle with an urgent matter. Joseph chuckled, another golden opportunity, and lifted the receiver. He pointed to his watch. It looked like it was going to be a long call.
Yep. Give him a call and left. Yep.
It wasn't a good meeting. Van Haven kept talking right over me. On purpose? Or was he taking pity on me? Am I really that bad a salesperson?
Yes.
Regardless, he didn't tell me anything new about Richard's disappearance. At least he bought some coffee, though. One more thing was still troubling me. That missing painting from the Kersey's living room. Did its disappearance have anything to do with the case? And why did Richard take it to Joseph?
Become business card. Oh.
Clarabelle might know the answers. I rang and asked her. She thought the painting was a memento from the founder of the family, Shallard Kersey, 18th century. Why did it get sent to Joseph? She didn't know. So back to Van Haven. I called, pretending to be the Kersey's lawyer. Mr. Van Haven, I've been instructed by Clarabelle Kersey to draw up an inventory of the family's works of art. He bought it, so I asked. If he still had Richard's painting, he muttered something about calling back and hung up. Why?
Why?
Joseph's reaction suggested the painting was a good lead. I need to check it out discreetly. I'm curious about the other blonde in the photo. Why did the jovial Van Haven avoid mentioning her? Perhaps I'd get to ask her soon myself. Case closed for today. Time to get my head round the supplies for the new contract. Need to check the investigation board.
I've managed to gather new clues. More materials appear on the investigation board. Review the available information and try to link the facts.
Now I need to set the new clues and data on the board.
Here you collect and analyze all clues and information about the investigation. Try to familiarize with each gathered clue and its description. The collected information will help you rebuild the course of events and discover the whole story. Every time you get new clues or information as part of your actions, they will flash in the right corner tray. Click here to transfer them to the main board. Click on the clue to view the details. The observations always contain a few marked details. It is worth analyzing them. File of letters. Move out of her father's mansion. Lives with her beloved. Some of the clues can be combined with others. By associating facts, you can obtain new conclusions and thoughts regarding the investigation. New people you learn about appear in this tray. Click to move them to the board. There's a lot there I haven't really learned about. The exclamation mark next to the photo indicates unread information. New information may also appear for previously discovered characters as the investigation progresses. Click on Polaroid. Clicking on the photo of a given character will display its description and all information related to him or her so far. To organize the information collected so far in a graph and see the connections, click on Take All button. Analyze events and information and how they relate to each other. To complete the investigation, you must discover the entire graph. These are all steps of the tutorial presenting the flow of the game. From now on, you're on your own. If you forget something, each section has a short tutorial. You can start it by clicking on the question mark in the upper right corner. Go to the meeting with the next character and take care of the operation of each section of the company, and above all, get clues in your investigation. Good luck. Let me go back.
I think that's all I've got for now. Let's see if there are any connections.
Are there any connections? There's drawing teacher. Empty space on a wall. Mysterious blonde. And an ingenious businessman. I'm assuming the empty space on the wall has something to do with the painting. In Kirsty's home, I noticed a blank space where a painting used to be. Clarabelle told me that it disappeared from the wall after her mother's death. She remembers that Richard packed it in grey paper and went to Uncle Joseph. It's a weird coincidence. What do you mean coincidence? When I wanted to ask more, Clarabelle got a phone call answered by the Majordomo. Afterwards, she quickly left and we did not have an occasion to continue this topic.
No. This won't work.
I mean, technically I can just try with them.
This won't work.
If I wanted to. Oh, 0 free. Okay. I've got 3 attempts available per round. Never mind. Yeah. I just want the exclamation points to disappear. There you go. Finances. That number is negative. That is not a good thing. Sales. They're glad. Go on. Have your orders. Finance charts. Yeah, okay. Revenues have increased. Costs have sunk. That is nice. We're now in profit. Unavailable in demo version. Okay, I can't take loans. Not that I would need to. And production is still fine. Although, actually, no. Give me... Actually, give me more. Give me 20 just to have a bit of a backlog. And produce 16. Oops. Exceeded the warehouse capacity limit. Okay, never mind. I can only produce 18 of these and 16 of these then. Can I not get a bigger warehouse? Probably. Who are you?
This is a good lead, but the information may cost me a lot.
Your actions have directed you to a feature character who can provide you with new information. Matilda Fink. Or Matilda Fink. Cash required 5,000 Great British Pounds. Attention, after meeting with the character, demo will be finished. Well, then we'll meet with her later. And we'll go forward. Yes, sure.
So, what do I have to deal with this week?
The warehouse is full, but we've amounted to 26,000 Great British Pounds. Alright, where was it? To-do list? Not to-do list. Reach weekly revenue over 60,000 pounds. HR, I could hire new people, but not now. I don't need them yet. Management is fine. Sales, that's what I wanted. Deliver the orders. Perfect.
I think that's all I've got for now.
And I can try
Let's
new
see if
clues.
there are any connections.
I haven't tried that yet. Wrong
No.
connection. No.
This one.
To one photo adorned by flowers and hearts, signed Mr. Gabriel and me. And try to connect this with this.
No.
Wrong connection.
This
Try to connect this with this.
No.
Still wrong.
This one.
Well, let's ignore it then. What's this? Okay, I see. The production, it always resets to 0, which is a bit annoying, I guess. Yes. And then you'd go to the management section, but everything's already being produced without any problems. Could do staff trainings, I guess, but well, actually HR management, where is it? There. Work satisfaction 69% and workload 90%. I could send her for training. Duration 6 hours, cost 2,000 Great British Pounds, works more effectively on special skill tasks. I don't use her for special skill tasks though, but I can motivate her. You get a personal commendation. Yay! Okay, it's unavailable in the demo version. Never mind. Let's not dismiss her. We need her. But anyway, I think let's just continue a few more times.
Another report.
We're at
Hope there's some good
44k.
news.
60k is what we want to get, so let's quickly just ramp the stock up here, just to 16 again. Yeah, actually this would even be fine. Can deliver the orders, and we've got this in stock anyway. So that's 16. We'll continue one more week.
Another report. Hope
Reached
there's some good
60k.
news.
Bernadette Gonham is tired and less motivated. Due to excess duties, your employee is overworked and the motivation is dropping. If the situation does not change, the employee will go on a leave. The bigger workload is, the faster the motivation drops. Okay. Oh, we've got the 60k. Weekly revenue. Do we not have a weekly revenue of that? Oh, I'm going forward by week, not by day. Okay, never mind. Well, let's talk to her then.
This is a good lead, but the information may...
Introduce yourself and thank her for meeting you despite being busy.
Good morning, Mrs. Fink.
Good day, Mr. Oliver.
I'm very grateful you found time to meet me today.
Well, it wasn't easy. But I also have a fish to fry here.
Excellent. Let's get down to brass tacks then.
Where's the kitchen?
By all means.
Ask if there's something she wants to talk about.
Mrs. Fink, is there anything you want to tell me about? A clue or a piece of evidence that might help crack the Kersey case?
There is something, but the information will cost you.
A lovely chat with Mrs. Fink shed a new light on the case and gave a good lead. Bad thing that Mrs. Fink overpriced her information, just like her own merits. Funny thing, it seems that this investigation will need me to make and spend a lot of money to get anywhere near the truth. Going bankrupt with the company means the end of the investigation. Where the hell is that sly dog Richard? Whose toe did he step on? Did he willingly abandon his daughter in Neo-London for good? Is it one of those cases where the truth is hidden and tangled in a decades-old web spined by guilt, hate, money, and broken promises, or badly ended friendships? No matter the odds, even if it means talking to every damn coffee businessman in London, I'm going to find the truth. I'll find your husband, Kath. That's the first thing on my wish list.
I see what you did there. Thank you for playing demo version of Coffee Noir. Yep. Alright, so that's it for this week's Indie Sunday. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Thanks for doing so, and I'll see you guys again next time. Bye.